Welcome back to A Moment in History. I'm Seth Udinsky. Today, let's go back to the devastating terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001. Nearly 3,000 Americans were killed in a coordinated takeover and subsequent suicide mission of 4 hijacked airplanes on the morning of September 11th. 2 planes were taken over by Islamic terrorists and flown into the towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, and a third crashed into the side of the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. There was a 4th plane hijacked that day, and many believe these hijackers had another Washington, D.C. target in mind, such as the Capitol building or even the White House. But thanks to the sacrifice of several brave civilians on board, the plane crashed into a field in western Pennsylvania. Let's explore the heroic takeover of United Flight 93. Flight 93 took off from Newark International Airport at 8:40 a.m. on the morning of September 11th, just minutes before the first plane crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in nearby New York City. Sometime in the next hour and a half, hijackers took over this flight as well, and passengers learned of the conspiracy attack against the country. It's hard for us to imagine what these souls were experiencing when they knew what was happening in the nation and that their plane was one of those hijacked. We don't know the specifics of what happened, but we do know from recordings in the plane that many passengers called their loved ones to say goodbye. One of these was a former athlete and a Christian named Todd Beamer. Beamer, along with several other passengers, decided that they would not go down without a fight. They determined that while they would not survive this ordeal, they could attempt a takeover of the plane and maybe bring it down before any other innocent Americans on the ground would be killed. After praying the Lord's Prayer and reciting the 23rd Psalm, Beamer told the others, "Let's roll." The passengers attacked the hijackers and attempted to take back control of the plane. The plane went down in the struggle, and the attempted recapture succeeded. The plane did not reach its intended target and instead crashed into a field in Somerset County, Pennsylvania. All 44 passengers on board were killed. These brave passengers could have cowered in fear, but they acted with courage on behalf of others, and rightly should be remembered as national heroes. Many hundreds of lives were saved that day because of the courage of the passengers on United Flight 93. Thanks so much for joining me once again for A Moment in History.